Britain. So is Charles overseeing an imperiled Britain?
Or are you massively overthinking it? And talking of overthinking it, Paula, this idea that it's all about the colonial British history, soaked in blood and gore.
Stop it.
With a butterfly on his shoulder. Are we now dragging ourselves away from the colonial barbarism which has bedeviled this country and our dreadful monarchy?
I mean, I need to come back to that comment because you're saying it.
Okay.
It with a tone of cynicism that is worrying me.
Yes.
Let me just answer your question in relation to what I thought of the picture. And it goes back to the topic of how the royal family as an institution...
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Is being challenged at the moment. When you look at that picture, Piers, does that picture scream to you TikTok generation?
Wait for it.
Actually, what does scream to me...
No, it doesn't.
Well, hang on.
It's a very challenging...
Can I answer the question?
Well, when I finished, it's a very challenging picture, one that I think a lot of teenagers are going to struggle to comprehend.
Are you serious?
Without having some lessons.
I actually think Johnny
that traditional portrait would have made sense. It made any more sense to a teenager.
I think Johnny Yeo is.
That doesn't make sense.
It's a masterpiece because he's managed to blend traditional with something very contemporary. And actually, it reminded me of a TikTok. And it's actually made for the TikTok generation.
Did you not think of your period then, Piers?
No, I didn't.
But he also got a seal of approval of the most important person, which was Queen Camilla, who said, "You've got him."
Yeah, and she has.
The face is brilliant, without a doubt.
I love it. You know, we're all talking about it on the front page of all the papers. It's a smart painting by a very smart guy. Are you serious? Johnny Yeo once did a portrait of George Bush when he was president. We were made up entirely of porn magazine covers, right? And no one realised till they looked really closely. And it was brilliant. He's an artistic genius. So I think it's great. Kinsey, what do you think of it?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Yeah, I love the way that they captured his gentle face. I thought it was a beautiful picture. I think it's whimsical like he is, and I think that it's lovely. And I if the TikTok generation doesn't get it, that's like the least of their problems.
Fact. Yeah. Well, they need that generation. But this colonial stuff, I mean, I don't want to labour the point, but why does everything have to always come back to empire, colonial past, blood and gore? Why can't we, for once, just go, you know what, let's look forward. There's a lovely butterfly on his shoulder, the metamorphosis to a great monarch. Why can't we just be positive? Why do we have to always drag it back hundreds of years to when people did unspeakable things to each other?
It's intriguing that you talk about history, and we've been talking about history in this conversation, and yet when you talk about colonialism and the damage that it has caused...
Who began the end of slavery?
Very good question.
Who began the end of slavery?
Well, to talk about the end of slavery...
Who began it?
To talk about the end of slavery, we have to talk about the beginning of slavery.
And I think we've done that.
No, well, have we, Piers?
Oh, I think so, Paula.
Because you've had enough.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, I had enough, but what's the point of constantly...
It's not about...
What is the point of constantly relitigating it?
About colonialism that spans the world, this conversation about colonialism...
Okay.
...is not going to stop just because you have had enough.
What conversation do you want? You want them all to say sorry. Sorry. Is that it?
Could we own that they do both? That actually, by reaching back and spanning forwards... I was in Eastern Europe...
Are you serious?
And this top TV exec said, I love Britain. And I said, do you? Because I'm always a little bit ambivalent about my own country, as you know. I love it.
Britain, I know, yeah.
No, I don't hate it. I love it, but there's room for improvement. And he said, I love the way you've got all this history. You've got this line, this constitutional line.
Wait for it.
You can follow for thousands of years. So can we own that? Can we enjoy it? But can we also interrogate it? So Paula feels included,
actually,
you feel included, and the picture's celebrated?
Fine. When do I ever hear Paula look back on the history of his country with anything but negativity?
Oh, wow. Really, Piers?
Tell me one great thing.
Then we need to talk more.
When have you last?
We need to
You never stop talking.
We need to talk more, if that's
you
what
never
you think.
stop trashing the history of his country.
You have to... Well, let's just remind the viewers, I'm an immigrant. Oh, my God! I was adopted by this country, and I was very grateful to be adopted by this country.
So why don't you big it
up? However...
Why do you want us constantly feeling guilty and apologising for it?
I'll wait.
We gave you a home, you just said. Wonderful. Thank you, Britain.
I'll wait.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
When you're ready. However, that doesn't mean that in terms of understanding my history and your history, which is forever entwined, that we shouldn't look at both sides of the story.
Is he all right upstairs?
And at the moment, we are only just opening that chapter.
What do you want to achieve?
In terms of our history.
What do you want to achieve?
And isn't that a good thing,
No,
Piers?
it's not.
The
What
fact
do you
that we
want to
know that
achieve?
Meghan is 43% ancestry Nigerian.
Somebody come and look at this.
That's a fantastic thing.
47.
I thought it was
43.
I thought it was
she was
43.
43.
Thank you.
Just clarify that.
Isn't that a fantastic
It's my
thing
memory.
to discover?
Didn't she go to Malta and claim she was Maltese a few years ago?
I don't know about that.
She did her genealogy. It came out in her Archetypes podcast.
I think she's
last
Maltese,
year, didn't it?
Irish, Nigerian.
Well,
There's a
we're
lot
all
going on.
mixed.
Lot to unpack. I've got a bit of Eastern European. I'll be heading to Eastern Europe quite soon, claiming my ancestry there.
And so you see, I referenced the book that we are all a part of, and I'm just saying.
Stop it.
That this discussion about colonialism, one that King Charles seems
What
to be
do you
ready,
want him to do?
Seems to be ready to
What do you want him
open
to
up
do?
and discuss about. I want him to open up and discuss it.
And say what?
I want him to be able to reference.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Some of the issues that the Commonwealth countries
What do you want
who
him to
have
say?
been affected by colonialism and to this day continue.
He is engaging more than
That's what I understand.
any
And
other member
fine,
of the
fine.
fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
and that's
What do you want him to say and do?
Projects.
And
It's
that,
going to
and
make it...
and that is fantastic, isn't
Paula,
it?
what's he going to say or do that
Because-
changes a damn thing?
Because what happens is we have a lot of people saying, well, I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah, boy.
I don't want to hear about this. I want to stop the
What do
conversation.
you want him to say and do?
I want him to open up the conversation.
And say what?
Which is what he is
And say
doing.
what?
On the Meghan and Harry soap opera that's playing out on Oprah. And I guess I just have a few thoughts. First up, it really doesn't need Piers Morgan to be catastrophically awful just to please his employers at Mail Online because they have a grudge because of what happened in the courts with Mail on Sunday. I don't think that helps anyone, and I don't think it's very consistent with hashtag Be Kind and everything he ever said about Caroline Flack. Number two, I think we have to accept if you put yourself out there, not everyone's going to like you all the time or like everything that you've had to say. It seems that Harry and particularly Meghan only want favourable stuff said about them, and if it's anything else, they don't like it. They don't like it. That's not how this all works. And finally, at a much more human level, I would just hate to be either one of those two. How on earth are they going to find happiness ever, where they've cut themselves off to their whole family, they've been rude and cruel about their grandparents or parents, and they found themselves isolated in a fabricated world that is LA, which is at best an illusion and at worst some sort of horrific vanity exercise. I wonder, you know, if you have these moments with your family that are really lovely, really special, when did you ever feel the need to have an external photographer there to show the world how blissfully happy you were? Last time you were alone with your partner and you were really happy, did you have a camera crew come and record that? And last time you needed to say something to your mum or to your grandma, did you need to have Oprah in to do that? Or did you just pick up the phone and say, look, I'm sorry for all the shit that's happened, can we sort this out? You can think many things of those guys. You can think they're great, you can think they're awful. One thing I can say for certain is that they'll never really be happy, not sure what they were looking for. I don't think they really know themselves, but I don't think they're ever going to find it, and certainly not with each other.
Going into his back,